Hello everybody, this is Louisa with LE Paper Studio, and I have a sweet project to share. And this is a John Deere's, both of these are John Deere themed, either party invitations or they could also be used as baby announcements. And the reason I say that is because there's a lot of good space on the invitation that a picture can be added with the weight of the baby, a picture of the baby, the weight, the day. So it can be a really sweet baby announcement. So I'll start with this one, which is the more complex one. This one uses a silhouette file, is number 114586 in the studio, in the Silhouette Design Store. And I've cut it out, and I've kind of played with the figure a little bit. I've modified it some, and it's right now about 4.5 inches wide by about, I would say at its tallest point is 4 inches. So I've played with it, and I've kind of resized this to about 4.5 by 4 inches. And then what I did to modify it is that I added this hitch area here. And it's attached with a brad, and what that allows is that the invitation or the little tractor can fold in, and then you can fit it into a regular A2 envelope. The one thing I will say that I'm going to change about this, if I have to mass produce, is I'd make the hitch shorter because it's a little bit flimsier. And of course, I'm using, just an example, this is actually my least favorite type of cardstock that I'm using. I wouldn't use this for a real project. I was just creating a sample for someone who actually asked me. They've purchased some invitations on my Etsy shop, and she liked them, and she has a son whose birthday, that was for her daughter, and now she has her son's birthday, and she wants, it's a John Deere theme. So I kind of designed this based on that. And then, like I said, because it has so much space here where you can put a lot of information, you could even put a baby picture and then the weight and the date and all the other baby announcement information that goes with it. I've gone ahead, and so this is how it pivots. I've gone ahead and scored it at the back. I like to add that kind of detail. I actually think I would score the John Deere tractor for the real sample, but I also like how it looks just plain. So then this is the first one. So after you cut, I'll kind of walk you through it, and I'll unassemble it so you can see how simple and easy it is to create. Once you cut your shape and you have your hitch, and all I did was weld a little bar to the bottom of the tractor, of the end of the tractor here. Once you cut it and assemble it, is really, really simple. You are gonna pierce a hole through the hitch and then try to gauge it. What I did is that I put it against a flat, let me see if I can use my ruler. Easier this way. So you take a ruler or any sort of grid or something that's straight and center it, and then with either a pointy tool or a pencil, you just make a mark where the hitch is going to hit, and then you pierce both the hitch and this additional portion here, which is going to have the invitation, lettering, all the information here. Then I cut two more of these wheels so that I could put it on this little what the tractor is going to be pulling as the tractor pulls the invitation. And then you take a brad, and I love brads because they allow you to create swiveling mechanisms. Very inexpensive to create a swivel mechanism with a brad. Very easy to do. You do not need expert advanced skills. So this is my, and then I just cut, this is actually, so the dimensions for this, just for your reference, is 5 inches wide by 3 inches tall, and then this bigger portion is 5.5 by 3 3/4, and I just rounded the corners. So then once this pivots, you can insert it into a regular envelope. and this will go through the mail just fine. It's actually quite flat because the brad is has backing at the has the portion that it's pulling. It actually goes quite flat, so I'm pretty sure you don't have to add additional stamps. Check your post office just in case though. This is a second sample. This one's a little simpler. Also can be adapted for a baby announcement because again of all the real estate. What I did is that I took the same design store file, the 114586, and I took the largest wheel and I resized it to 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. If you have squared envelopes, or if you can find squared envelopes, you can actually make them larger. If you can find like a 5 by 5 or even a 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. But since I would be putting them in these A2 envelopes, I wanted it to fit. So then what I did is that I created this welded file on my Silhouette software. I welded 2 circles that were just a little bit smaller. And when I put it on my Silhouette to cut, it kind of looks like this. It's 2 welded circles. I put here I just put John Smith's, and I just put John Smith's birthday, and then I created this green ring to kind of give it a more John Deere look. And then I just cut the wheel out. It's the same wheel, the same large wheel from this file. I embossed it using a Spellbinders embossing folder. I glued my green ring, and then I put this welded circle together. I folded it in half so that it creates my invitation. And then here is just a smaller inlay circle where all the printing can be done. And you can, what this allows is that, again, it's a large file or a large size area, so you can put a picture of the baby here and the details here if it's a baby announcement. If it is a birthday invitation, you can just put the birthday invitation details here. And again, close and store in an envelope, A2 size envelope, and send through the mail. This one's a lot flatter, so this one absolutely will not need any more postage. So I hope this inspires you. I know this is a project share. I apologize for putting it together outside of camera, but I hope that this gives you ideas and inspiration. Thank you.